So you just stepped into the Parlor House, the podcast where sex workers speak freely, truthfully, and without apology. I'm your host, Bunny, and each episode we break down myths, celebrate life experiences, and highlight people who make the industry what it truly is: complex, resilient, and real. So let's get into it. Our guest today is Flora Honey. They are a well-rounded sex worker with a specialty in fetish-centric, full-service sex work and an affinity for go-go dancing. It's a way through the heart of Kansas City's nightlife. It is also the recent founder of a new grassroots organization, We Love Sex Workers, a small org focused on the rights and well-beings of sex workers on both personal and institutional levels. Hello, Flora.
Hello.
Hi. So, how are you doing today?
Oh my God, I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm getting my day started. I'm excited to interview you. I'm excited. Yeah, so you are actually the first full service school we've gotten on this podcast. We've had dancers, we've had big OnlyFans schools, but we have not had any full service schools. So I'm very excited because full service schools are, they're the OGs. You know what I mean? They're the OGs of sex work.
Absolutely. Well, I'm excited to open the floor for us.
Yes, and I feel like, even though they are the OGs, there is a lot of stigma, specifically with full service. So I'm hoping we can talk about that and maybe even combat a lot of the misconceptions that other sex workers have. Because gals, ladies, they, thems, everything plus some, full service sex workers are the OG, the blueprint. Without them, we wouldn't have stripping, we wouldn't have camming, we wouldn't have everything. They are they started it. That's the grandparent of stripping, and you don't disrespect grandma. Amen. So goofy. So the first question I wanted to ask you is, why did you create We Love Sex Workers organization?
So, a little bit about We Love Sex Workers is just it was a lack of community resources and is an ongoing lack of community resources for sex workers of all kinds. There's a lack of support. There's a lack of education on it. Despite the sex positivity, especially in Kansas City, where I'm based, that gap hasn't closed or shortened in all my years here. So I felt like it was time. The idea came to fruition while I was planning an upcoming event to honor International Day to End Violence Against Sex Workers, which, for those who may not be familiar with it, is about the Green Bay River Killer, or Green Bay Killer. And that was up in the Northwest in, I believe, 2003. I will be brushing up. But, it's a really important day to come together, honor those who came before us, and celebrate those of us who are here.
Yeah. I don't know if you know about this, but Kansas City actually has a very deep history with sex work. Have you ever heard about not Pendergast? It was, I'm trying to think. We had brothels down in the Westport area back in the early 1900s. Yes, I actually own. Do you know what a bushwig is?
Yes.
I own a lady's bushwig from an old Kansas City woman's bushwig from the early 1900s.
What?
Of one of the sex workers that worked in the brothels. So it's my prized possession. It's my prized possession, genuinely, because there's so little history that comes from the brothels. I know there is a mirror that still exists that was inside the brothel. I think it's at one of the museums, but they don't even really advertise it because Kansas City tries so hard to erase its history with sex work.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
In that same vein, I've got a pair of my sex work mother's shoes. From her years leading an all-woman rock band in New York City.
That's so cool.
The really crazy thing is, my sex work mother, so She lives above a venue that I work with. Not gonna dox her. But she lives very close to a well-loved place to me. And when we met, I found out that she worked at the strip club that my mother worked at 3 years after my mother
Well,
in
what
New York
club?
City. And
Oh,
I'm in
in New
Kansas
York.
City now.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Mm-hmm.
27 years later. It felt so crazy.
You're like, whoa, that's really cool. Kansas City really, like New York, like every major city, if sex work didn't exist within it, like a lot of the things we love about this city wouldn't exist. A lot of,
The economy, the
yes,
culture.
yes, everything was built like back in the early 1800s, and a lot of the houses, like a lot of the places that full service sex work was happening, the saloons and whatnot. A lot of those ladies, it was the first time they had financial independence, was through doing sex work, and
Absolutely.
they literally, it was shown that those women straight up put that money straight back into the community. A lot of the schools, a lot of the banks, a lot of the churches, a lot of the beginning structures of American like society, it was started by saloon girls, for doing full service. And and I think that's wonderful, and I think that's, it's very funny to just think about a lot of the, even though women weren't able to really work, they still found a way to give almost all of their money back to their community. They found a way to make money to give back to their community, and I think that's really cool. So
Yeah, no, sex workers have historically always been at the forefront of taking care of people. There's a lot of empathy and sympathy in the community for hardships, because hardships have brought a lot of us to this work. And this work has gotten us out of a lot of them.
Exactly. For a lot of people, they like, there was like, we could definitely talk about this more later because I am curious about your opinions on it. But there's a lot of debate and online spheres, spheres that usually are pretty pro sex work, but it's turning into very anti sex work rhetoric. I don't know if you've like noticed, like, there's obviously the regular things that happen, like the porn ban and things like that, where they push anti-sex work rhetoric, but that's normal in like right-wing spheres, you know what I mean? They've always been pretty anti-sex work. That's been happening for ages and ages. Back in the mid to was it 2006 or 7? They enacted a bill in specifically Missouri that made it so the strip clubs can't have nudity. And actually, Kansas City, I don't know if you knew this, the biggest group that lobbied to raid that law was actually in KC. So the owner of the club Bazookas, which is an old ass club, it's been here forever.
Yeah, I know of Bazookas.
The guy that owned it, that stills own it because he's still alive, he actually lobbied against the Missouri Senate so he could allow nudity in the strip clubs. So I don't know if you knew that. So a lot of pro sex work laws actually came from Kansas City back when Bazookas was a big powerhouse back in like the early 2000s ish. The owner of the club did a lot of lobbying for pro sex work.
So good and so important and integral, because as someone who's especially going to profit off the labor of sex workers, it is your duty to advocate for us.
But put the money where your mouth is, and obviously it benefits him, but it benefits us too.
End of the day, like, that's an important thing to be done.
Yes,
and I recognize that.
Yes, he's very I don't know if you've ever been to the club or worked in the club, but he's very old. he's very old now, so he's still doing his thing. I hope someday in the future we can have more young and vigorous people lobby against the Missouri Senate, because one thing I'm very proud of is in Kansas City, they have lobbied for so much progressive things, and there has been, it has shown that if you work towards progressive issues in Missouri, it really does work as long
It
as you're
does, it
actually
does.
fighting for it. You just need to fight
It
for
is
it.
such a swing state that
Hmm.
if you hold on to hope and work together as a community, you can really pull shit off.
Oh, for sure. For sure. And I'm excited to maybe talk to you about some ideas I have later
Yeah.
on about, like lobbying and things like that. I do want to talk to you more about some of the anti-sex work rhetoric, but I think I will ask that later because I do
Mhm.
want to ask you, how long have you been a sex worker and what got you into sex work?
Yeah, absolutely. So I have been a sex worker for almost 10 years now. It'll be 10 years at the end of April. Um, and that will be my 10-year sex work anniversary and birthday at
Mm-hmm.
the same time. It's gonna be a big
Oh.
day for me. Very excited. But I originally got into sex work because as a teen,
Mm-hmm.
I had been trafficked. It's just something I was exposed to, unfortunately. These days, it's something that I've gone through a lot of work to reclaim, and I get a lot of joy and power from it. Also, my mother was a sex worker and was very open about that. So having that influence growing up definitely helped give me a more full view of it
Mm-hmm.
and less of the stigmatized story we're fed.
Yeah. I mean, you know, uh, I think a lot of people currently think that sex work and sex trafficking, they correlate those two as the same thing.
Absolutely.
Especially nowadays, I feel like I feel like back in the mid 2000s, maybe even early 2000s, we were there was a lot of sex positivity that was happening,
Mhm.
and now the pendulum has completely swung all the
Oh, for
way to
sure.
not, and as somebody that is not just a sex worker but also a victim of sex trafficking, do you want to talk about how you feel about the correlation of two of those being conflated as one?
Oh, absolutely. So for one, I think what we're seeing today,
Hmm.
especially, is relevant to the resurgence and furtherance of um, FOSTA SESTA,
Hmm.
which was guised as an anti-sex trafficking
Mm.
bill
Hmm.
that was passed by Donald Trump in 2018. Um, and it was devastating.
Hmm.
It's why we lost so many platforms because they were scared of having
Hmm.
to regulate because the laws were so vague and strict at the same time that
Hmm.
it's hard to without having someone look at every single post, they couldn't guarantee that they weren't going to get shut down. So
Hmm.
it was safer to kick us off. Um,
Hmm.
it was just easier for them, you know? And a lot of people correlate Backpage shutting down with this. But that actually, surprisingly, happened apparently the day before. I was reading an article earlier
Hmm.
on Tris.
Hmm.
Great resource. Fucking love them.
Hmm.
Um, I was reading an article on Trist about how they actually shut down the day before for money laundering and their unquestionable ties to quote unquote prostitution.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, it's more complicated than people think. It affects so much more than people think. It's why you can't have your Cash App in your Tinder bio.
Hmm.
It's why you can't post your bikini picture on Tinder.
Hmm.
It's why you now have to put your ID in for
Hmm.
porn. It's why many vids,
Hmm.
historically a porn site,
Hmm.
has turned to hiding us
Hmm.
and probably soon forcing us off. or further back behind more restrictions. We don't know. But just from patterns, seeing how Tumblr forced us off after Tumblr was built on the backs of sex workers.
Reminds me when OnlyFans was trying to kick sex workers off. They're like, we don't want sex workers. It's like, come on, dude. Come on.
Like, that's where all the revenue is.
Yeah, like back in, was it 2022 when they were trying to kick everybody off?
22, I believe.
And then they realized that all of the money they made, they're like, wait, we would lose so much money. Like, duh, dude. Like,
yeah, even out here, I face discrimination from like sex clubs who don't want sex workers there, despite it's like that's our scene.
I got a lot of opinions about that.
Yeah.
I don't.
I'm not gonna name drop.
Yeah.
I got some opinions.
Yeah. So like, I mean, we both live in the same city, so we've probably met the same people, you know, because the same people that frequent you probably frequent me, you know, even though we're two completely different types of sex workers.
But
yes.
They see tits and they go, oh.
They go, no, and bimbos, you know. Oh yeah, we do that. Yeah, the bimbo. Yeah, like
bimbo types.
Yeah. So I know there is. It's so funny to me. I do talk to people, because I have a lot of opinions about the sex clubs in KC. Just because, not that I do go for. I've been once out of more of curiosity because I'm not gonna lie. I like making money. So, like, I don't like doing things for free. So, like, that's just me. And it's not like I've never been so slut shamed before than by people that are, like, kind of sucking everyone's dick. Like, not, like, no shame, but, like, you know, I'll be seeing somebody.
But you do it for money.
Yeah, and I'm like, you're in an orgy right now. I'm watching you in an orgy. And then they're like, yeah, but you get paid to strip. And I'm like, I don't even, no, like, I don't know, my brain's like, like, why are you slut-shaming me? Like, I'm so chill with you, like, I'm pro-whore, okay? I'm pro-whore. Yeah. Do your thing. Suck your dick. Do not care. But were you gonna judge me because I'm twerking? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'm like, you're gonna judge me for twerking a little bit? Because I got a little money in my pocket? Like, it's, you know, it's definitely, yeah, that's how because I've experienced the same thing. It's super goofy. But they'll also
you're fucking a text man for a text thing, you know?
Yes. They'll also go to the strip club a lot of them. And then they'll be angry that I don't want to do things for free. And then, so there is a bad stigma around, especially swingers and just anybody in that environment. They'll come to the strip club. They'll be like, you don't want to have sex with me? And we'll be like, no, like, our job is to do this and provide a fantasy, you know, and, you, like, I felt like that was pretty clear. You know, you go into this establishment, you pay us, but I think they're so used to getting it for free, which there's no shame in getting it for free, you know, do your thing, have fun, it's consensual.
But don't think it's going to be me.
Like, it's a consent thing, you know, at the end of the day. You consent because you enjoy it. I will consent with cash money. Yeah. Cash and money. Cash money speaks to me.
Because I'll enjoy it when you pay me.
Exactly. Yeah. And I mean, and also going to the strip club expecting I think a service that we don't offer is also, you know, a little annoying.
It's disrespectful.
Exactly. Like, I'm okay with people asking, you know, I don't judge, because I've been in the game for so long. If somebody asks me for full service or a full service thing, I'm like, okay, cool. You know, like, I'll let you know, no, I don't do that, but I don't get upset by someone asking.
It's not an implication to be ashamed of.
Yeah.
It's the lack of
consent.
Respect when they
expect
too.
That too.
It's the lack of respect for your autonomy, your consent.
Yes, exactly.
It's the conflation of all kinds of sex work.
Exactly. And I think a lot of, now there's just such a bad stigma. I know in like the dancer world, the dancers are just so tired of the swingers that come into the club because it's a whole archetype now. You go in with your ugly boyfriend, and both of you, like, he hasn't showered, and you guys are touching up on each other in the club, because you think that's what we're into, and then
And you think the hot stripper is gonna join you?
Yes, you think we're just sluts and whores and bitches, and we have
Obviously,
no.
I'm on stage making this money
Yes.
because I'm horny and just trying to get you to fuck me, really.
Exactly. Like, I'm doing this because I have daddy issues, and your elderly ass self is really gonna fix me right now. And like,
Right.
that's definitely the archetype. Like, just an old ass man, trying to get me to have a threesome with him and his wife or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh, no thanks, no thank you,
Like,
not my
good,
vibe. No thanks.
Literally.
Groovy. So another question I have about your organization, We Love Sex Workers, is there anything you're hoping to address or any future plans you're wanting to do?
Yeah, so I'm trying to address that gap in the community's needs being met that I mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
The lack of resources. I'm hoping to both meet that in tangible and social ways.
Mm-hmm.
Tangible meaning I want to be physically giving back what I can. I want to be connecting people where I can, connecting people to resources, whatever I need to do. And then socially, I want others to see, hey, we are out here. We need this support and you can support us.
Yeah.
Seeing what I'm doing. And I want other people to do it.
Mm-hmm.
It should not just be sex workers supporting sex workers.
Yeah.
Yeah. And already the response has been amazing, and I haven't even had the first event yet. The first event is this upcoming Sunday, the 14th. And just the amount of support I've gotten from local businesses, DJs I work with, all kinds of places that I didn't necessarily expect. It's been amazing. So I really do think if we all come together in some form, not even if it's this, but if our community can come together, we can really turn out some amazing shit. So, yeah, I really also intend to get into sex work education and speaking to the general public, civilians, about us, about our struggles, about our ongoing struggle to be seen in public and survive in public. How to support us, why we need that support, stuff like that. And also with the tangible idea, I would like to eventually, if it's possible, I want to start a mutual aid fund managed just for sex workers that we can have a treasurer just handle,
I think that would be great, especially right now with how the economy is. A lot of sex workers are full on struggling.
More long-term goal, just because it takes some steam to get there.
I have no idea how long this. Yeah, I don't know how long the economy is going to be like this. So.
Right, it's probably we probably have time.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. So really, it's about seeing a need, thinking about how I can meet it, and applying my experience.
That makes sense. I do have more questions. Sorry, my brain. I got a little. I think that's all a great idea. I think on top of it just being like a fight for sex workers, I think why it's so connecting to a lot of people in Kansas City is it's a labor thing. It's a labor rights, and
absolutely.
A lot of people can hate on sex workers, all they want, but they understand that we are working class. We are working class people. We. Just because our job
Dale
is...
Earnhardt understood it.
Yeah. What?
Dale Earnhardt was quoted saying, Well, he spoke on legalization because he didn't know about criminalization, but I know my man would come around,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
If we could talk to him, he would come around. No,
Yeah.
he spoke on legalization and how important it is
Mm-hmm.
so that sex workers can unionize and stuff.
Mm-hmm. I think
Um,
I think a lot of
Mr.
people.
NASCAR himself.
Ooh, a lot of people that I think speak on legalization just don't really the heart's always in the right place.
Oh, totally.
But I think there's also like they don't understand that because it's more of a capitalistic issue of why legalization can't could be a scary thing.
The
It's more of a
government can't necessarily be trusted with being
exactly.
in charge of us, and also we
Hmm.
can be trusted to be in charge of ourselves.
Yeah. Oh, exactly. And like even in Nevada with the legal brothels,
Yeah.
there is so much corruption, or just, taking so
There
much of
are
the
higher
profits.
rates of sex
Yeah.
trafficking because
Yeah.
of the laws around legalization,
Mhm.
actually.
Yeah.
Because you have to have so much licensing.
Mhm.
Mandatory testing is a really complicated subject.
Yeah.
All sorts
I
of things. Well,
yeah,
state mandated testing.
state mandated. Yeah. I mean, a lot of these things you know, if we lived in a world that allowed, it would be poor if we lived in a perfect world, these things would be great, but a lot of people don't understand you don't live in a perfect world. Like, it's kind of like even like the idea of should we vote with an ID or not? Like in a perfect world, everybody would have their ID. Not everybody has their ID or access to
No,
buy
it's
an
an access
ID.
issue.
Exactly.
It's so many things.
So same thing with sex work and a lot of legalization issues, and I think with issues with capitalism, because my opinion, I believe sex work is one of the few places on earth that is weirdly very communist and socialist. I like
We take care of each other.
yes, that and we own primarily our profits.
Yeah.
We do the work, at least in most places, and like even if I work in a place that takes, I feel like, a shit ton of my money, I know comparatively to most companies, McDonald's, etc., the profits I'm generating is way more than they're giving me. And at least with
You have
sex
a
work.
little more control.
And now off to our segment, The Guillotine. Welcome to The Guillotine. Here's how it works. I'll bring up an event, habit, or trend from our line of work. And you tell me, should we keep it or should we guillotine it? Will it survive or lose its head? So, the first thing is somebody asking for free content.
Ooh, easy kill.
Kill them! Kill them all!
Well, how often do you get that?
It's probably 2 out of 3 asks.
2 out
Probably
of 3,
1 in
yeah.
3 asks is a paying one,
Yeah, it used to be.
Out of just like random messages I take in on the internet.
Oh, really? It used to be less common for me.
Oh, totally, yeah.
But I think with the economy so bad, and then a part of me is like, is it because, like, because a lot of the dudes that want the content, they get content so much, so it's like they're trying to bargain. I also think it's a kink to belittle women or like, who they perceive
Absolutely.
as women. So
They get off on misogyny, yeah.
exactly. So a part of me is like, it's probably partially that. It's probably just having the conversation to try to annoy you is partially
Totally, yeah.
what gets them off.
Just time wasters.
Oh,
Oh my
for
god,
sure.
it reminds me of were you around during Thought Patrol?
Thought Patrol.
Yeah, Thought
No.
Patrol was this thing around before FOSTA Sesta time.
Mm-hmm.
I think, or right around that time, where incels would en masse go and try to report sex workers to the IRS because I thought we weren't
Okay.
paying our taxes.
Next time!
How much?
Secret.
Why?
Just guess.
$600?
Jail.
Oh.
FYI, people, most sex workers are paying their taxes.
Yeah, I pay my taxes every year.
Also,
I have to pay my taxes to get
What?
FAFSA.
with people's
Mm-hmm.
stage names.
Oh.
However, it did end up being harmful in the fact that people were reported their jobs, reported people's like cash apps were mass reported, stuff like that.
Damn.
I don't have any of my childhood photos anymore because my old Facebook was taken down. My old Instagram was taken down.
Mm-hmm. No,
yeah, so it had real consequences for sure.
Damn. That was before I was doing sex work because I was
It
a
would have
minor.
been just a little bit before, yeah.
Yeah, I would have been a minor, but
Real.
yeah, I didn't know about that because I knew about people made jokes about Thought Patrol as like a meme, you know? Like I went to like a convention, a hentai convention, and people were dressed in Thought Patrol outfits, and I thought it was funny. Yeah. So I took pictures with them arresting me. But I didn't know it was like a whole
I think it started as a funny little thing and then it became something a lot bigger.
Okay. I mean, incels still do that, you know, a lot of people.
Yeah. It was just like everyone, every day.
Yeah, there's a lot of mass reporting on specifically Instagram now.
Yeah.
And I think that's their primarily target because Instagram right now with the AI system, it's very faulty, so it's easy to get people banned. So just if somebody gets enough reports, or like not even any reports, like just in general, like it's very easy to get. Almost all of my friends have been mass banned. Like my friends with 100, 200, 300K, that obviously are getting reports because they're women and they're well liked, you know, they've been banned. And my friends that don't even post about sex work or don't do sex work that are bigger, but they're females, you know, so they must be trying to manipulate men by posting a video game, you know, so they get mass banned just on the premise of they're doing something which they view as sex work. Random dudes on the internet.
And that's how, like, anti-sex work rhetoric hurts us all, also.
Yes, I completely agree.
It takes away your autonomy to be sexual or even to just exist as someone read as a woman.
Yes, I completely and utterly agree. The second thing on the guillotine shopping block is saying I'll pay you after the service.
That's like not only a kill, that's like your grave is already buried.
Yeah, you're
like I don't
no,
play like that. I don't trust like that.
No, it's no thank you. Like just no fucking thank you. Because I get it too. With dancing.
Any sexual service, they think they can do that.
Yeah, no, exactly. They're like,
they think we've never heard it.
No, no, they think it's the, you know, but you don't trust me, this random dude you've never met or talked to, or
but me,
but me. No, there's so many times like people will do that, and I'm like, I don't know you. Like it happens.
Like, I've never seen you in my life.
It happens in the strip club, quite a bit, and I'll make a joke. I'll be like I don't know you, and they'll be like,
yeah, you have to play it off.
No, they're like, you think I would do that? And I'm like, I met you a couple minutes ago. Like, I don't, like, it's always super weird that they're like, some of them get really offended that I'm like, I don't know you. Like, why the hell would I trust you? It's same with dudes being like, come back to my place. I'll be like, I don't fucking know you. Dude,
They're like, but I trust you. And I'm like, well, duh.
You shouldn't. Me, I'm like, you need to work on that. Listen.
Yeah, I'm like, it's because you're staring at my tits again.
Yeah. The movie Hustlers came out for a reason. That was based on true events. Don't be dumb and invite strippers to your house. That's all, you know. I not that I'm saying I'm gonna do any of the Hustlers' actions, but sometimes
we cannot legally condone, but we can understand.
Literally me. I'm like, listen, like, because I'll tell them, and I'm like, don't trust strippers, dude. You're a fucking idiot. Like, you're dumb.
Yeah.
Like, you invite me to your house, and you're gonna wake up in the bathtub with all your clothes off and all your belongings gone. Maybe,
Just because a
hypothetically.
girl's pretty doesn't mean she's good.
Hypothetically. Yeah, I could be evil. And I've told dudes that. I'm like, I could rob you. I could drug you. I could be the most evil bitch ever. And you are just inviting me to your house. You need to work on that. And
Yeah.
But, doesn't stop them. They'll still invite me. They think
No.
it's a joke. Hypothetically, it is a joke. Hypothetically, allegedly, this is a joke. It's all a joke.
In Minecraft.
In Minecraft. So the last question on the guillotine chopping block is a man bargaining prices.
No.
What?
No.
You don't like
I'm
being
very
treated
much
like a
like-
used car?
You want me or you don't.
Yeah.
And that means paying what I fucking said.
Mhm. Exactly. No, I completely agree. Because
There are a million men out there
mhm.
with their shit in their hand waiting for
Yeah.
me. I don't need yours.
Yeah, and it's just annoying. It's just annoying as fuck. Like, why are you bargaining with me? And the strip club specifically.
Literally.
It's really
They're like,
annoying.
I can go to that girl and it's cheaper. And it's like, well, for one, probably isn't. For two, then
you're
do
lying.
it.
No, exactly. And most of the time, almost all the time, in the strip club, they're lying. But, like, for
Yeah.
example, so
They think you don't talk.
they take, the club I work at sometimes, they take 50% of whatever I make, which sucks. And they also
That's really cheap.
they force us to undercharge, at least in my opinion. So I'm very expensive and bougie. So the only reason I work there is because I show up like maybe once every 2 months now. That's not really my hustle anymore. And they're the only place that will let me do that. So that's why I do it.
No.
So when
flexibility is part of the appeal of the job.
exactly, it's so like the dude's like, hey, can I get 50% off? And I'd be like, well, then I'm working for free. Like I'll tell them that I'm like, then I'm making no money. Why the fuck would I do that? And they're like, what? But I'll be a really great. Also, when I charge less, or if I randomly have that brain worm that makes me like be like, okay, let's do it then.
We've all been there. We've all been there.
Yeah, if I do that, the VIPs or the rooms or whatever, it's evil. It's the person wants the most. They are making
You're the most demanding.
most
demanding,
disrespectful, evil, just
dangerous.
evil, just evil. So why the fuck would I do that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, absolutely not.
To any customers out there watching, women don't like being treated like a used car. So maybe don't try to bargain about,
Maybe show you respect people's words.
Exactly, bargaining, just suck it. Suck
You
my
can't
dick.
afford
Suck
it.
everyone's
Be
dick.
polite. Move on.
Exactly. So, one of the last questions, before, what do you wish people knew / understood about sex work?
There's a lot of subconscious stigma that people don't realize.
Mm-hmm.
So much stuff has been so deeply ingrained into society, and just the upheld views. It's created and upheld by the
Mm-hmm.
government, the media, people who mean well.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what's so hard about it is it can be people who mean well. It is often people who mean well.
Mm-hmm.
It is often other workers.
Mm-hmm.
It is often people who are usually good.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lack of thinking sometimes. It's really just what we've been taught and raised on, this idea that sex workers are dirty or unsafe or
Mm-hmm.
unhealthy or morally lacking in any way. It's harmful. It's untrue. And people don't even process that they feel that way. They don't.
Mm-hmm.
They think, well, I don't have a problem with my friend who does OnlyFans, but they would never do sex work when you
Mm-hmm.
ask them about it.
Yeah.
And they say it that way specifically. It's
Yeah.
okay to not want to do sex work. That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
It's the whole, oh, I wouldn't do that.
Mm-hmm. And
Yeah.
I completely, I agree. I wish people knew that it's just a job. It's just a job that some people do for survival. Some people do because they love it. It's just a
End of the day,
job.
it's a career.
It's a career. It's a career for some, a job for others. It's whatever that person wants it to be. And
Absolutely.
who cares? Who
Yeah.
cares? As long as they're consenting and they're happy, or that's what they want to do. That's their decision. To try to have a control over people and what they choose to do. You know, uh, it's stupid. Or just even for, I understand, I do not think this line of work's for everyone. I do not recommend this
No.
line of work for everyone.
No.
Um,
I
I
will
think,
actively tell people I don't think it's for them if I don't.
yes, I think you need that a specific type of dog in you to
It
do
is
sex work, and then
dangerous to mislead someone into this work.
exactly. I think some people got that dog in them, though, that this is the perfect job for them. You know what I mean?
Oh, totally.
Or that one branch of the job is wonderful for them, and then another branch is terrible.
Yeah.
There's a lot of strippers I meet that they can't do OnlyFans, no matter how hard they try. That's just not.
It takes a different kind of bitch.
Takes different kind of bitch. And then those bitches I meet that are full OnlyFans goals, 500K followers, like top gals. And then I talk to them about stripping, they're like, I can't do that. Like, they're like,
Yeah.
I know myself, I can't. It takes every in person, out of person, full service,
There's different skill sets.
yes, exactly. And either way, it's all under one umbrella, even though we're
Yeah.
all in different areas. And we still, I think, like, there is still so much community, but it takes a dog. You need a dog in you to even get under that umbrella. And,
Yeah.
and
Oh, for
just
sure.
because you got one dog in you doesn't mean you can do the other.
For sure.
I think partially a lot of the pushing, the like, oh, I can't do that sentiment, or the, I don't know, I like, a lot, especially nowadays, there's just so much anti-sex work rhetoric, and I think, and I understand partially where it develops in the ways of, like, misogyny, like, girls experience so much
Definitely.
misogyny. So, like, it definitely hurts that I see a lot of women participating in anti-sex work rhetoric.
Yeah.
And, like, I can understand
It's
it.
misguided.
It's misguided. Yes, it's very misguided. And I can understand it in the way they're like, well, I'm being treated like a sex object 24/7. And I'm like, dude, that sucks. Because I get it. Like, that I understand that very well, as
Yeah.
us as women, or as AFAB presenting people, but to put that blame on sex workers or porn, or that's not what to blame.
Yeah, no. I mean, like, being woman read growing up,
Mhm,
I definitely have faced a lot of that.
mhm,
But the thing is, my choice to be in sex work is about a reclamation of that.
mhm,
My choice to identify as a bimbo is about a
mhm.
reclamation
Yeah,
of the idea that I don't need to prove myself as smart as whatever. I can
yeah,
be whatever the fuck I want to, and if I want to
mhm,
just be sexy for me, I will.
mhm. I think I also agree with that. I'll be sexy because I want to be sexy, and that's how I'm bred. Okay, I'll be
Yeah,
forever.
amen.
But um, you know, one of the last conversations before we fully run out is, I do want to pick your brain more about just the anti-sex work rhetoric that's online, and, you know, mostly because I want to hear it from your perspective as a full-service gal, because I have my own opinions on it. You know, like, every day I go on TikTok or Instagram, and and it's culminated in things like the porn ban and things like that, but I see that, like, the idea of, like, porn addiction, that's, like, very, which do I
Oh,
think,
I believe it's a real thing.
yes, yeah. I
But
believe,
it has to do more with the men and how they view women
yes,
than you can't blame the
and
worker.
I don't think sex work or any of that is even, because sex work has been on for hundreds and thousands of years. This
Yeah,
has been a man issue. Like,
it's called the oldest profession.
yes, exactly. And, you know, I believe porn addiction's a real thing. In the same way I believe weed addiction's a thing. You could,
Anything.
exactly, you could be addicted to anything. Like, and if you, like, you know, is it, I think that there's so many women that I know that watch porn, that participate in probably the slimiest, you know, the cliche, like, smut books, you know what I mean? Like, women are constantly participating in the exact same content that these
Yeah.
men are, and it and people are being like, well, men are being violent because they believe porn's real. You're an adult. Like, you know what I mean? You're an adult.
Yeah, it's like it goes a lot deeper than that.
Yes, exactly. Like, you, like, why can
The violence was there before the porn, regardless of how old the porn is.
Exactly. Women could goon without becoming serial killers, so I'm a little confused why they're so convinced men can't. So that's my opinion. Because I trash a lot on some customers, but I've met some nice people that aren't terrible, that aren't mean, you know, and they're
I
fine.
love my
They're
clients.
normal.
It's just the ones that
Yeah.
suck really suck.
Yes, and it makes it kind of hard to not complain sometimes, because I'm the same way, you know, because
we should be allowed to without our jobs being then viewed as unworkable.
Exactly.
Like, you'd let anyone else complain about their job.
Exactly. Like, you probably get, like, you know, I've met people that work in a gas station, and they get assaulted almost the same average as me. You know, at least
I've had, like, crazier work at a gas station than almost anywhere, for real. So
yes. Like, I've seen people work at a lot of places, and, you know, they still experience harassment and assaults, and because it's, at the end of the day, it's not a sex work issue.
It's a people issue.
Yeah, it's it's a woman issue. It's a feminine presenting people.
It's misogyny.
Yeah.
It's violence against anyone they view as a woman.
Exactly. And, you know, I think to fully fix it isn't by, you know, banning sex work, banning porn. It's by addressing the root causes in these men that are committing violence, or, you know, doing these things. There's root causes that need to be addressed, and blaming women again as scapegoats because we create this, you know, content.
It's a continual cycle in history.
Exactly. And
it shows up in so many forms.
Hopefully, eventually, it will stop. You know, that's all I can wish for. Hopefully, if one day, you know, we'll put the blame on the people doing the harm and not the people just trying to exist. You know?
Until then, I will continue screaming at the men in cars who can't call me that I will slash their tires.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I get it. So
we do what we must.
So before we head out, I'm gonna let Flora plug their socials. So you just plug whichever you need.
Yes. Okay. So my Instagram is bug_bimbo. That is where you can find me posting my personal work, all my modeling, all my little hints at content that I can't quite post fully, live events, all sorts of stuff. I am primarily a live event artist these days, so catch me around Kansas City. And then for the organization, our Instagram is welovesxwrkrs. with the vowels missing from sex workers. We'll have it all linked. Don't worry about it. Yeah, that's it, really. You can find pretty much everything you need through the links in my bios on there.
Groovy, thank you so much. So
Yeah.
So that's a wrap for this episode of the Parlor House. If you're vibing with the conversations we're having here, hit follow, leave a review, and spread the word. Your support helps amplify voices that deserve to be heard. We'll see you next week. Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye.